One woman was suffocated, her body found next to her baby. Another was pushed off a cliff. Yet another was stabbed 23 times. The highly publicized and horrific killings, along with a steep rise in domestic violence cases in Greece in the past year, have pushed partner-on-partner violence into the spotlight in a country where such abuse has long been whispered about but rarely publicly discussed. For decades, the Greek justice system showed leniency to abusers citing crimes of passion, Cleopa Papantolion, a prominent lawyer, said. Now, she notes, she is receiving a surge in requests for representation from victims of domestic violence. The violence has led to interventions by the authorities, including a decision to start a national video campaign in November that urges women to leave abusers and offers free emotional support and legal advice. The video flashes apologies, "I didn't mean it, my baby, I'm sorry," in knife-shaped blocks of text. The police have opened special offices to deal with domestic abuse cases. Advertisement continue reading the main story, but activists and officials say that much more needs to be done to prevent more women from dying or suffering silently for years. That includes more training for police officers, who critics complain sometimes fail to see warning signs. In one recent case that horrified the nation, a woman was stabbed to death just weeks after the police failed to intervene when called by a worried neighbor. The rise in domestic abuse mirrors increases elsewhere that, in part, appear to be a side effect of COVID lockdowns, prompting the United Nations to speak of a shadow pandemic. Pope Francis has also addressed the issue, denouncing the increase in domestic violence worldwide as almost satanic. Image: the Olympic sailing champion Sofia Bikaterou, second from left, prompted a broader discussion about sexual abuse in Greece after making public assault allegations last January against an official in her sport. The Olympic sailing champion Sofia Bikaterou, second from left, prompted a broader discussion about sexual abuse in Greece after making public assault allegations last January against an official in her sport. Credit: Louise Aguiamaki, Agence France Presse. Getty Images. In Greece, the police recorded acts of domestic violence against 5,705 women in the first 10 months of last year, up nearly 60% from the same period of 2020. Some of the jump is probably attributed to more women speaking up, but that does not diminish the scope of the abuse. Advertisement continue reading the main story. The number of women who were killed in episodes of domestic violence was up, 2 to 16 in the first 10 months of 2021, from 9 for the whole of 2020. The brutality of the killings in Greece last year shocked the nation, dominated coverage in the news media and, in some cases, made international headlines. The violence has fueled debate on a topic that until recently had been virtually taboo in Greece, said Vasiliki Pitousi, a sociologist and head of gender research at the University of Crete. Advertisement continue reading the main story. The significance of the family in Greece, and its unity, has typically spurred many women, and often their relatives, to conceal their abuse, Ms. Pitousi said. But more women are speaking out, something she attributed in part to an increase in public awareness campaigns and media coverage. A decision by the Olympic sailing champion Sofia Bikaterou last January to make public sexual assault allegations against a sailing federation official prompted broader discussion about abuse in general, Ms. Pitousi added. Image: painting a mural depicting an abused woman in Athens in 2020. Activists and officials say that much more needs to be done to keep more women from dying or suffering silently for years. Painting a mural depicting an abused woman in Athens in 2020. Activists and officials say that much more needs to be done to keep more women from dying or suffering silently for years. Credit: Aras Messinis, Agence France Presse. Getty Images. Another pivotal moment came in May with the death of Carolyn Crouch, killed while her child was nearby. Her husband, Charalambos Anagnostopoulos, a Greek helicopter pilot, admitted to suffocating her and is awaiting trial on murder charges. Editor's Picks. The Gilded Age finally arrives on HBO January 20, 2022 on *s.n.l. Donald Trump tries his hand at Wordle. January 23, 2022. Can works like Don't Look Up get us out of our heads? January 23, 2022. Brian Cox takes stock of his eventful life on stage and screen. January 21, 2022. How Meat Loaf made a cult favorite. Paradise by the Dashboard Light January 22, 2022. Oh, by the way, I had a baby January 22, 2022. They tried to tackle Derek Henry in high school. It didn't go well. January 21, 2022. English Island seeks a landlord king who likes solitude, seals and beer. January 22, 2022. Why the woman who dressed the Gilded Age is on the verge of giving up. January 21, 2022. The pandemic changed everything about work, except the humble resume. January 22, 2022. Katerina Kostiki, a psychologist at a counseling center in Athens, one of a national network of 43 such centers, said that the gravity of the violence had spurred more victims to come forward. Women were so scared that they'd be next that they started talking, she said. The centers and a 24-hour phone line have been busy. In 2021, the centers received 5,491 visits, up from 4,925 in the previous year, and the phone line got 6,797 calls, up from 4,619 in 2019. Advertisement. Continue reading the main story. The figures show the impact of the pandemic on abuse, said Maria Sirantula, the Greek deputy Labour minister in charge of gender equality. The violence has certainly increased, but so have appeals for support as women listened, learned and trusted that there are facilities to visit and experts to listen to them. In the same month that the government began its video campaign, the Greek Supreme Court prosecutor, Vasilis Pliotas, called for cases of domestic violence to be fast-tracked, referring to extreme, inconceivable, unrestrained, abhorrent and exceptionally harsh homicides that have stunned society. The Greek police also plan to open more special domestic abuse offices. Over the past 2 years, some 73 officers have been introduced nationwide to monitor such cases. In addition, 6 frontline units, with personnel specially trained to support victims, opened in city precincts at the end of last year, 5 in Athens and 1 in Thessaloniki. The Greek Public Order Minister, Takis Theodorikakos, said this past week that more frontline units would be open to tackle the problem, citing the recent rise in cases.